Hey everyone, this is Michael Risk with Expanding Capacity. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be going through the activity of reaching, and we're going to specifically focus on the core. All right, so we'll start with a few breaths. We'll establish some litmus tests. We'll get right into it and then retest to see how effective our efforts were. Let's do it to it. We're going to go in through the nose, breathing. I would challenge my coaching clients to get as rested as they could within 3 breaths. One more here. Okay, let's do it. So we're going to start with our posture scan. Feet about hip width apart, arms relaxed, eyes closed. Just check in on the shoulders, rounded, neutral, chest out. I'm definitely more in the neutral position, probably closer to chest out today. I've been doing a lot of grounding work lately. So now we're going to go to our squat and reach, or to our reaching pattern. Okay, so you're going to start by you're going to reach with your left hand. Okay, so you're going to take your right hand, you're going to reach across the body to the left. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, other hand. One question I'll often get is, why do you reach in so many directions? It's because, well, we're multidimensional. We don't reach only linearly. We reach in all directions. And so now let's alternate. We want to be conditioned for life. Life is dynamic, unpredictable, and places all sorts of demands on us. And so we just need to make sure that we're adequately prepared for our day-to-day lives. All right, and now let's go. You're going to reach to your left side. Reach to the left for 5, 4. Variety builds capacity, right? So if we reach in a variety of ways, it's just going to develop a functional capacity more than if we did something only one way. 4, 5. Let's alternate sides now. One good thing to think about here is, as you're reaching out to the side, sit pressure into the reaching side's heel. Okay, so pressurize the heel on the side that you're reaching. That will ensure motion comes through the joint. Now, you might find less range of motion, but that's perfectly fine. Right? We don't want to confuse quantity of motion with quality of motion. And now we're going to go reaching back. So let's take the left hand. We're going to reach back. Just notice as I reach my left hand back, I'm allowing my shoulders to turn toward you. It's actually pretty natural when you reach the hand back. I mean, you can go straight back and keep the shoulders square, but just allow that natural rotation to occur. All right, let's try the other hand. So right hand reaching. And now you're going to be pressurizing your left heel when your right hand is reaching. Okay, now we're going to alternate. So when the left reaches back, we're going to pressurize the right heel, right back, left heel. Okay, so opposite heel to get the most out of each of these movements. All right. Okay, so now we've got our litmus tests. Let's go through today's reaching matrix. We're going to focus specifically on the core, or the thorax, one of the most important parts of the body when it comes to functional movement. And so today, I'm going to have you do a couple cool techniques to really emphasize movement through the core. And if all goes according to plan, you should feel a pretty significant difference by the end of it. The most important thing is, do not exceed your threshold. So when your body puts the brakes on, when it hesitates to go further in a direction, don't force it. Pay attention to the most subtle cue moving in any specific direction. Okay, we're going to start with the rotation. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to place my hand on my opposite shoulder. Now I'm grabbing the back of the shoulder, right? If you can't reach all the way behind there, that's totally fine. Just, maybe around the side, grab somewhere that feels like you can actually access, all right? Now you're going to reach across the body like we did at first. But what you're going to do is you're just going to you're going to use your hand reaching across the shoulder just to give a little pull in that direction. All right, so you're going to reach and just add a little bit extra with the hand. You're going to pull just to accentuate the movement and to ensure that it's actually coming through the core. Now, a lot of times people will say they feel a really nice stretch in their back. That's good, right? The stretching is a response to the joint moving. And if the joint's moving, function's going to improve. Let's just go for a few more here. And there's a kind of a timing thing here. So let the hand initiate the movement. All right, one more hold, stay in the heel. I didn't mention it, but ready for 10, 9, 8. A lot of pressure in the heel on the reaching side. A few more here. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's switch sides. So what I was trying to say earlier is focus on the timing of it. So let the hand initiate the reach. So the hand goes first, and then the other hand gives an assist, okay? But you don't want this hand pulling prematurely. So ready? Just like so. Make sure you're pressurizing the heel. Okay, so interestingly for me, as I do this reach, I don't really feel like that same stretch that I did on the other side, but because I actually have more range of motion here. I can feel my thorax going through the rotation better in this direction. Let's go a couple more here, and then we'll hold. One more, whole pulse. Ready? 10, 9, 8. Hand goes first, and then the other hand pulls as an assist. If you get that timing right, it usually feels really good. I feel a really good glute stretch here. 9, 10. Okay. Oh, I can feel my body's loosening up already. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the frontal plane. So the best way to show this to you is this way, and then I'll probably end up turning around. Okay. So what you're going to do is you want to do your left side, your left arm lifting first. Okay. And so you're going to lift this arm, little chicken wing dance. All right. And now notice that I'm allowing my hips to slide. Now I'm going to allow not only the hips to slide, but I'm going to allow the knee to bend on the lifting arm side. Okay. So just like this. Allow the knee to bend. Okay, now from here, what we're going to do is, the only other thing I should mention is when you do this, okay, let this hand be a driver. It's going to be reaching down. Okay, so it's reaching in the opposite but complementary direction. All right, so now ideally we'll get more out of this if the down hand is touching a wall or any stable surface. Okay, so I'll do it this way so you can see. Okay, so ready? My left hand is going to slide down the wall, just like this. All right, that little point of contact gives me much more stability and will allow my nervous system to prioritize mobility. I hope that you can see this. I'll put the hand out here just so you can kind of get a sense of what's going on. My hand just reaching straight down along the wall. Think about the distance between your heel, the heel on the weight-bearing side, and the elbow, okay? Hold. Right now, we're just going to pulse, nice and easy. So the distance between the heel and the elbow. Increase the distance between those 2 points up into your threshold, and then just continue knocking gently at the door of your threshold. 3, 2, 1. All right. So now what we'll do is we'll go to the other side. Let's get a few reps in just to kind of get things moving. So I'm going to slide to the side. Oh, I hope I didn't throw you off when I switched directions. I should have switched back to the other side. Okay, so now we want to increase the distance between the left heel and left elbow, right? And then this other hand is going to be reaching straight down. Okay, so you're ready? So pressure through the heel on the left side as the left elbow lifts. Hand reaches down along the wall. Nothing forceful here, just moving to the edge of what you can do each time without going past it. And fight that temptation to want to go more. I know it's very tempting thinking more is better, but I can assure you it's not. Okay, hold. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Okay. I'm definitely feeling that. Muscles burning in the best way possible. This isn't like a no pain, no gain kind of workout, but we do need to stimulate our endurance fibers. Our entire posture is made up of endurance tissue. So we need to get in the reps. That's why we spend time under tension. So now we want to go into the last plane of motion. In the sagittal plane, we're first going to start by getting our spine to flex. Okay, now when we often reach for things, we keep a flat back. It's not good all of the time. Okay, sometimes we do want to keep a flat back. But if you watch children pick things off the ground, they just go and they round their back because no one taught them about exercise. They're just moving according to what they have to do in their lives. All right, so what's happened as a result of people keeping their back overly straight is that they never stimulate their posterior core. Okay, and so what we want to do is we want to actually flex through the spine. So just think you're going to be turning your body into the letter C here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left elbow, and as I subtly squat down or reach down with this right hand, I'm going to pull my left elbow up. So I'll just give you another little angle here. All right, so my one elbow is pulling up, and my other hand's reaching down. Really good stretch all throughout the back. Now, again, we're going to get more out of this if the lead hand is touching the wall. Okay, so ready? Go right here. Elbow up, hand down. Just find the edge. Don't force it. Now, actually, it feels like my edge is reducing, which just means I'm getting a clearer sense of where my actual threshold is. Now, I know it can feel like you're not doing a lot if you're not going through a large range of motion, but every muscle's turned on. 9. Okay, let's hold. Okay, ready? Little pulse now. So as that elbow pulls up a little, the fingers reach down a little. You want to make sure you're falling into that letter C. Let's call that 8, 9, 10. Woo! Okay, this is work. So now what we're going to do is let's switch over to the other side. So just give you a quick side view. As that right elbow lifts up, the other hand just reaches down. I can already feel that I've got considerably more motion here. Okay, and anytime you recognize an imbalance, a side-by-side difference, you have to understand that that is the root cause of your stiffness, pain, and discomfort. Okay, you don't need to address those symptoms at all. You don't need to you're going to think about them because you're on your mind, because you're feeling them, but you want to balance the imbalances. That's the most important. Okay, that's exactly what we do at Expanding Capacity. So now we're going to go, right hand's going to pull up, just like so. Right elbow up, left fingers down. Okay, this should feel exactly like a seesaw, except that you're on both ends of it. Oh, I have to crack myself up once in a while. 3, 2, hold. Come on, ready? Let's pulse. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. And, some of these movements probably look unorthodox, but the reality is they're all inspired by my simple focus of getting one joint complex to go through a specific range of motion. Okay. So we started with rotation, then we went to bending, and now we went to flexing. And now we're going to go to extending. Okay, so extending is the other end of what the spine does in the sagittal plane. So it rounds, right, and then it lifts or it extends. Okay, so what we're going to do here is let's go left arm first. Okay, I'll show you from the side. What you're going to do is you're just going to lift the left elbow, just like so. All right, and what you're going to notice is as the elbow lifts, the ribs are going to follow. Okay, you allow that to happen. All right, so what we're going to do is just hold on to a wall here or some stable surface. All right, and you want to be a little bit further away from the area you're holding on to, because as I lift this, it's okay to allow the pelvis to slide forward. All right, that's actually accentuating what's happening. As long as you don't go too far. If you feel any pinching in your back, you've just gone too far. need to shorten the range. Maybe you're down here. Maybe your arm's in this position, right? This, just for me, I start to feel resistance. If you start here and lift, just start to feel, when does the shoulder start to feel resisted in that direction? For me, it's right there. So I can just start this movement right here. My spine's still extending, just like that. Okay, so let's keep going. People are often surprised by how little capacity they have. I'll just give a side view here. As long as you're holding with the other hand, you're creating some extra stability. And you could even take the elbow, you could just lean it right against the wall. Okay, give yourself some really good stability, and you'll find how much more you can actually move the other side, because you're getting so much stability and control from the other side. Okay, so elbow is, I now transition to my elbow on the wall. Lift that other elbow. Allow the hips to slide forward. None of it's forced. You should feel your abdomen lengthening. Good little thing to keep in mind is that core length creates core strength. Hold, okay? Pulse. Okay, so this is elbow lifting and pelvis sliding. A few more here. 2 more. 9. 10. Okay. The reason I chose to reach with the elbow is because the elbow is closer to the thorax than the hand. So we actually get more lift through the ribs. Okay. So again, it's all about our intention and what we're trying to accomplish. We're trying to get joints to move in a very specific way. So the movements are just managed around that desire or that focus. Okay. So now we're going to go other elbow on a fixed surface. Okay. And then you can lean into it a little bit. And then just find, like, where does this arm, actually, let's check this first. When you lift the arm from the side, so for me, it's right about there, right? I start to feel resistance, but keep going up until you find your resistance point, wherever that is. And then once you're there, just grease the groove. And make sure you're leaning. If the nervous system detects stability, it will prioritize more mobility. So as I'm leaning harder into my elbow, I'm able to lift my reaching elbow much higher naturally without forcing it. Let's go one more here. Hold. Hold and ready for 10, 9, 8. Feel the chain reaction that's occurring here. As your elbow lifts, notice that your ribs follow, then your pelvis follows. Notice your knees trying to lock. It's actually a counterbalance. You'll get more, you'll be able to reach further when the knees stay locked as opposed if you let them bend. Okay, we'll call that 10 there. All right, there we go. Let's go back through our litmus test and see if we got any changes. So let's start with our rotational reach. We're going to go across the body. So we'll reach to the left first. Okay, let's go the other way. So cross the body. Ooh, is that a 4? Ooh, I have 4 people watching today. Hey, that's 4 more than none. Whoever you are, 4th person, thank you so much for being here. I've been kind of trying to look from a distance. I thought I saw a 6, but I was like, that'd be massive because my record to date has been 3. Let's alternate sides. Yeah, so if you're new here, welcome. Maybe you've seen some other stuff that I've done before, but we're trying to accentuate joint motions, right? If the joint doesn't move, function won't improve. Okay, I actually was talking so much, I'm sorry. Let's do a few more alternating sides and let me actually feel what's happening. The biggest thing that I notice is that when I reach across the body here, this hip is actually allowing me to move in that direction, right? And probably because of movements like this, okay, where we're accentuating it. Now let's reach to the sides. So we're going to go 5 times out in the one direction. And so obviously our core has a function here as we do the reach. All right, and then we're going to go other side. And I get a similar improvement here. Actually, if you were to look at the before and after, how far I could reach from video from the beginning of this routine to now, it's a significant difference actually. And that's without forcing it. which should give you a little bit of confidence of trusting in the process. Alternate sides. Right. We're scared that if we don't push as far or as hard as we can, that we're not going to progress. It's just not how the nervous system works. It's on a completely different, it's playing a different game. I really learned a lot when I read The Sensitive Nervous System by Jim Butler and just completely reframed how we approach physical movement. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go left hand back. Allow the shoulder to rotate. I saw a comment. Who is that? Actually, oh, okay. All right. If I'm not mistaken, that's Ashley. Hey, Ashley. Okay, and then let's go other side. Yes, you're welcome for doing this, and thank you for being here. It only works if we both participate. Otherwise, I'm just entertaining myself, which I can do. Alternating sides. I can entertain myself, but I prefer to have company. All right, and so for this one, it's been harder for me to reach my right hand back. And when I reach my right hand back, it's my left hip that's having to load. It's my spine's having to rotate to the left. All right, and I'm getting more balance here. So just everything feels freer. The body feels lubricated, feels really good. Okay, let's go to our posture scan. Woo! All right. I was already at neutral, kind of right on the edge of chest out, but now I'm really chest out. Feel a lot of life through my abdomen. My knees have softened a bit. I feel deeper pressure into my heels. So I'm just more connected to the ground, and that's one of the key things with stability work is the more connected to the ground. That's what's healing us. Our healing is coming from the earth, all of the natural forces. And so the more we establish a connection to the ground, the more we are manufacturing a healing environment. Okay, so the two biggest things to remember are, number one, if you notice any imbalances in your body, left versus right, you've got to get those right. You have to balance those out. Otherwise, you're always going to be stiff. You're always going to be in pain and uncomfortable. You're always going to get injured. You're always going to have a hard time recovering from injury. You need to restore motion back to at the joint level, okay? We don't need to worry about muscles. We don't need to do any nerve techniques. We just need to get the joints to move. The muscles and nerves do everything they need to do when you focus on the joint motion, okay? So we can just simplify this process. The second thing is I'm gonna go hop into a live check-in with my community members now. We're gonna troubleshoot anything they might have come across today and, have a little bit of a coffee chat. But thanks. Today went a little longer than the previous ones, but I hope that this served you well, and I'll see you back tomorrow. We're gonna hop into the neck as it relates to reaching. It's gonna be a good one. Don't miss it. I'll see you then. Cheers.